Where's $10? Not quite, my love. Not quite. Oh, let me do this. Before I forget. Ooh, I didn't realize that was a thing. Oh no. Okay. Boing, boing.
I see my supposed in bed.
Oh yeah. What happens if I do that? I mean, okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh. Yeah, I'll put this and make my diet little. Okay. Oh, no, no. Alright. Now we should be able to hear me alright, I do believe. I think we should be able to hear me. There's a fan in the background for just a second, so I won't be, like, the loudest ever. I'm not feeling good, y'all. Can I just tell you? Can I share with you? That I don't feel great. I hope you guys are feeling good. I feel icky. I'm not sure if it's allergies or actually getting sick or what. Jay Sharp, how are you? Good morning, good morning. I'm reacting here. Oh my lord, what happened? To a video that I've talked about a couple of times. Oh, that was scary to sister, huh? Oh, it's just you, thank goodness. About, hey, stop. No, I'm doing a live. No, stop. Thank you. It's not Memo. I'll let you know the minute she calls. They're so excited anytime Memo's on the phone. I've been talking about this poor woman, Michelle Anders. I've mentioned her on several lives and the horrible situation she went through, and people have wanted to see it. So I'm like, or my reaction to it for whatever reason. So I was just gonna come on here and do that really quick because the civil rights lawyer, yeah, try having them. Mine, I mean, no, they are. They're adorable and they're the best of friends. We're very lucky and blessed. They are some little demons, but they're 3 and 4, so I really can't expect much else at this point. I don't like to put them on camera. I'm a little weird about it, you know. There's a lot of sickos out there, so I just try to protect them the best I can. Which is a lot of the reason why I don't, usually if they're not here, I won't be on video. That's why I do a lot of these reactions, like in the morning time or even in the evening sometimes when I'm not on camera, it's because they're not away with Mama or something, so they're right here with me. And when I have done lives in the past, I've not made them public because they would come and get on the live with me, like they'd crawl up into my lap and stuff, and I'd have to shoo them away, and I don't like to do that, period. But then I also don't like them to be in the live, so, you know, it becomes a whole thing that I have feelings about. I'm not judging anybody else if they put their kids on. You do you. I'm just overprotective, so it is what it is. I'm a helicopter mom. What can you do? We're going to go ahead and get started, though. And as people come in, if people shall join us, we can catch them up or what have you. But a little background real quick. The Civil Rights Lawyer is the channel we're watching this on because he actually has spoken to the family of Michelle Anders. The lady is out on a road in the middle of the night. All the context we really need is going to be in the video. But that's just kind of a pretext, I guess you could say. And this happened in May, I believe. And this is actually his second video about it that has updates in it. But you can find his other... Yeah, so many weirdos. It's really scary. It's terrifying, to be honest. Especially growing up with the internet in its infancy and before they had all these laws to protect children. I know how many sickos there are out there. And that's why it scares me, I think. Like, being part of that generation that grew up when it was really, truly scary kind of gives you more of an idea than you probably ever wanted. So, there's that. But yeah, this is a Civil Rights Lawyer. This is his channel. You can see his little face down there in the left-hand corner. And he did one video on it, and YouTube throttled the heck out of it because he was using trigger words like, if somebody takes a ride down the sewer slide, this is kind of what ended up happening. Probably. It's kind of, a lot of it's kind of up in the air. It's very weird. It's a very strange case. There's a bunch of evidence the police are literally suppressing. It's really dirty. And you're so scary. And I've been really wanting to call the Dunklin County Police Department and be like, hey, I've got questions. I haven't done it yet. It's been a weird couple of weeks, but it is on my to-do list for a video idea, I guess you could say, because I'm honestly curious as to why these officers have suffered absolutely no repercussions at all for their heinous behavior towards this woman. Hey, Sunset, I will have you know that not one, not two, but 3 people have called you sunshine lately and said that they missed your lives. So you are just a ray of sunshine to people if you did not know that. And good morning. I thought that you would just be thrilled about that. Oh, he's a ghost. Oh yes, really. Enoch was in my live shortly yesterday, and then Motif was asking about it. I can't remember who the third one was, but I remember Enoch and I remember Motif for sure. Yes, I was like, and they all 3 of them, whomever the third one was, all of them called you sunshine, and I literally was like, lol, I think you mean sunset, but she'll be happy to hear that you said that. That was my reaction to all 3 of them, because they're... But yeah, we're going to react to this heinous video, heinous officers, terrible thing that happened. I've talked about this before a couple times. I've referenced it, and people have I don't know what it is about people wanting to see other people like talk about something, but I'm kind of the same way. Like, if it's somebody that I enjoy hearing them talk about things, or I like their takes on things, I would rather watch them tell me about something or react to something than watch it myself, so I kind of get it. But so that's what we're going to do. I've been asked for this, so we're going to go through this video here. Civil Rights Lawyer here on YouTube. He had an original video, got super throttled, so he did this update, which he actually got more evidence than the police because the family reached out to him. It's a whole situation. So I'm going to go ahead and start the video. We're like 5 minutes in because he explained all that I just explained. It took him 5 minutes. So I'm like, you know, and we're 10 minutes in and I've explained it twice. So I don't know how much better I am, but you know, what are you going to do?
Okay, what's going on? Sorry? There's nothing on that side. What's on the other side? Okay, what happened?
This involves deputies Cobb and Philpott from the Dunklin County Sheriff's Office. This is in Missouri. I have the police report. In their words, this is why they were there. On July 9th, 2020.
Another direct husband for him. What? Yeah, that's messed up, and that's tricky. I feel like with DV, and that's another thing too. Like here in the state of Tennessee, they made it to where you can't even, and I know other states too, you can't even decide if you want to press charges, which is like nice for victims that are too scared to, but also not nice because now the rule is if they show up, they have to take somebody, and in all, oh hey Matt, how are you, dear? In all cases, there's not really a DV incident taking place. So it's like one of those things, it's like, 50-50, it's good and it's bad, you know? So happy to see you, Matt.
23, the Dunklin County Sheriff's Office received a report of a white female sitting on the side of the roadway. Deputy Philpott and I located a white female lying on the shoulder of the roadway. The subject was lying on the ground with her head facing the grass, south, and her feet facing north, near the white fog line. She was lying on the shoulder of the roadway on the eastbound side. Next to the subject was several bags of property and a sweet case scattered around her. Miss Sanders was asleep when approached, to which Deputy Philpott woke her up.
I've been walking.
This is the context. Just remember this as we watch this video. This lady is literally asleep on the side of the road when they show up. I want you to just think for a second about your local police. Are they assholes? Let's be honest here. If they showed up and you were sleeping on the side of a road, how would they treat you? Where might you end up? Just keep these things in mind.
From Little Rock.
Okay. Do you need an ambulance first and foremost?
No, I've been there, done that, done everything that I could do.
Okay.
I'm trying to get away from him because
Who's him?
the person who did this to me, okay?
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to see what's wrong with you.
I keep trying to walk, but I can't. My whole shoulder is broken.
Good. Did you go to the hospital?
Yes.
Which hospital did you go to?
Everything is accounted for in North Little Rock.
Right.
I've been walking a long while.
Understandable. Where are you going?
Far away from him.
Are you going anywhere in particular?
No.
Do you have an ID on you?
Yes, I do.
Go see it.
And there it is. There it is. Their hunger to identify everybody comes out once again. Ridiculous.
Please. When did you get beat up?
Thursday.
I'm not just going to keep stopping it. I'll maybe take some notes, but like, do we hear the way they're even talking to her? Like, oh, when'd you get beat up? I just would really like to punch them in the dick. These officers are both incredibly condescending, cold, callous, and, in my opinion, responsible for what happens to her. I don't see how anybody else could have a different opinion, to be honest.
Last week.
The knot on your head looks fresh. Like,
Do what?
the knot on your head looks fresh.
Yeah, these are new.
What happened there?
After the fact that, it happened, you know, I didn't press any more charges for this.
Where did it happen at? In Little Rock?
Yeah. I didn't press any more charges. I'm just trying to get away from him.
You walked all the way here? Did you get a ride here or what?
No, I walked all the way from Little Rock to here.
Okay.
Hence why I'm like...
Exhausted? Exhausted?
Actually, really quick, we have the address. So, hold that thought for just 1 second, because I actually had, not right now. Let me get done with what I'm doing, okay? If you notice down here, this picture, that's the same house we see in the background, right? And so, I had done, oh, whoops, no, go back. No! Go back. I had done from there to, how did I do it? Edit. No. Well, I had done from there to, there it is. Switch that, and then, Little Rock. And see, it's 2.5 hour drive, right? Let's look at walking. 3 days. 3 days it would take somebody to walk. Now, could she have been, and this is anywhere, you know, in Little Rock, I just made it super general. So it could be a lot less, but just think for a second. These officers are like, oh, you're full of shit, basically, you know? Oh, good morning, Justin. How you doing? But, I mean, I don't know. You can make of that what you will, okay? It's my personal opinion. She was likely walking for a very long time. You can look at her. You can hear it in her voice. It's not just that she's inebriated. She's exhausted. So.
Yeah.
Can you find your ID for me?
I'm just trying to get away.
Okay. Can you find your ID for me?
There's nothing wrong with me trying to get away. He took my phone.
Also, just real quick, we see how close she is to this main thoroughfare, right? Keep that in mind.
Yes, I don't know where I am. I was at he told me keep going into Missouri this way.
Well, you're in Missouri now. You're in
Yes,
Cardwell, Missouri.
so that's why I kept going this way.
Okay.
But with my shoulder being broken, it's very hard.
Can you get your ID for me?
I don't even, honestly, officer, I don't even know if I have it. Because he took everything. Because I remember I was trying to buy cigarettes and they talked.
Of course, here this prick goes to get out his notebook so he can get her information. Never once, mind you, does he hey, calm down. Never once does he ask her if she's okay. Raise your voice again, and me and you are going to have a come to Jesus meeting. Okay, he can have it though. Look, you have this and you have this. Now calm down and take a breath, okay? We don't treat each other that way. Never once does he ask her if she's okay. Never once do they ask if they can help her. Not even like the most basic human response, right? Never. Just let me get your info.
I was too young. I was like, oh my God, I really.
What's your last name?
It's Anders. Michelle.
Anders?
Yes.
Last name Anders, Adam, Nora, David, Edward, Robert, Sam. First name is Shell, common spelling.
Continuing auto file through Central Square, running it. We're running through actual mule standby. 327 through Tennessee, Michelle.
Which means, by the way, she has no record. She doesn't have a record.
There's Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, you know they're always in the background. That's why I'm never on camera unless they're gone. You know them. There be demons back there. Don't mind them.
You don't know where you're going? I mean, what are you wanting to do? What are you wanting to do?
I'm sorry, I can't see you.
What are you wanting to do?
I'm walking. I'm trying to get away
Where are you?
from this person.
I understand that, but where are you going to go?
Well, gee, I don't know, officer. Here's my suggestion. Why don't you make a fucking suggestion? Why don't you try and help this lady? I mean, you don't have to find a DV shelter. Maybe take her to a hospital. Maybe you even take her to jail like you would normally do in any other situation and let her have a hot meal and a place to lay down instead of being in the middle of the road. Any of those would have been better options than what you did.
I have a Google map.
I understand that as well.
He took my phone.
So where are you going to go?
That last gas station down there, they told me if I wanted to go back to Arkansas, go.
Oh, I'm going to start doing some reactions to First Amendment auditors and frauditors and people like that. By the way, that should be a lot of fun. But in this case, this lady was very obviously struggling, and the cops make me so angry. Like, stop. It makes me irate. Every time I watch this video, my blood pressure goes up because I'm like, how can you be so inhumane and callous and careless with another human being? Even if you weren't supposedly called to protect and serve, I couldn't just leave somebody. I'd have to call an ambulance or something if I saw somebody in the middle of the road like that. And this is literally your job, you know? Like, what the hell? Hey, Ryder, good morning.
It's on straight to the very right. That's what I'm doing.
Where are you going? That's what I'm asking you.
I don't even have a clue.
Okay. How much have we had to drink tonight?
And there it is.
Nothing.
Oh, I saw the whiskey bottle sitting there. I'm
No.
asking you.
We heard that, right? He literally observes a whiskey bottle in her bag.
That was from last night. Okay, sir. I was looking for my water bottle a while ago because I'm so dehydrated. I've been walking since literal.
I mean, look at this lady. Obviously, she's got some problems. She's very obviously inebriated. But regardless, like, in some of the angles of the footage, you can tell, like, she's got bruises all over her. She does not look well. And not just in a way of she's drunk, in a way of she very obviously needs help. Like, that's what makes me angry about it.
Continue to walk, or we can call an ambulance, take you to the hospital somewhere, and get you some help.
Look, my whole...
Which one do you want to do?
My whole shoulder is broken. They've already assessed that. They gave me a disc. I've got it in there with my paperwork from the hospital. They told me I'm probably going to have surgery. I got to go to an orthopedic doctor. But what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get far away from him.
Understandable. Well, Jonesboro and Little Rock are a pretty good ways away from each other, so I think you're fine.
Well, I don't live like...
That guy is the biggest prick. Just saying.
That way, normally. And they said, if I keep going this way, it's Missouri.
I understand that, but where are you trying to go in Missouri? Because there's nothing down here. There's no hospitals, there's nothing. You have family in Missouri?
No.
So where are you wanting to go? It's what I'm trying to get from you. Are you just going to live out on the street? What?
No, I'm not a street person, sir.
So what is your goal? What are you trying to get to?
Chicago.
You're a long ways from Chicago.
I know, but that's where my oldest son is. He's 22 years old. And I know bad things happen to people in major cities because I've lived in so many major cities, but
Here's this asshole just like spitting away and like not listening to anything she's saying. Oh, the whole time it just makes me crazy. It just makes me crazy.
you know, I'm strong enough, I could walk this. Not that I want to, because it's hard with a broken arm and everything else. I mean, it's hard.
Well, do you require...
And I don't know where the next thing is.
Well, if you keep walking that way...
I don't have a phone.
I understand.
And I don't even know where I'm going.
Phone in the road. Stay on the Duncan County. It's Camp Missouri.
You guys want to start me off here? So that seems to be one of the...
Well, our policy normally is we don't give rides, but let me check something real quick.
Why are there so many mosquitoes?
Like I said, the stagnant water around these fields.
Our policy is normally we don't give rides. Unless, of course, we're taking your ass to jail, in which case we'll happily give you a ride, right?
Really?
She said she walked from Little Rock to here.
Bullshit.
She walks 4 miles a day.
She can walk. Stay on the road.
She can walk. She can walk. This is where it gets diabolical.
You just keep walking north till you get to Kennett, but if you're going to stop and rest, don't stop on the white line.
I'm sorry, I can't see the person.
Well, you don't need to see me, just listen to what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Keep walking north to get to Kennett. If you're going to stop and rest, lay in the grass or stay off this white line, or you're probably going to get run over if you
Did we hear that? Stay off the white line, because if you get too close, you're going to get run over. We hear that, right?
On this white
No,
line.
I've kept
Your feet was on the white line when I come up to you. So,
That's trying to scare us.
well, I'm just telling you.
Because
I don't want you to get run over.
It's a dark road. I can't see nothing without lights at all.
You probably should have
She doesn't even have a flashlight, y'all. She doesn't have anything but a couple of bags.
stayed at Mr. T's till daylight then.
No, they told me, the woman told me, she said, he's got bags, you can't leave your bags.
You can sit in the parking lot.
She said, I will call the police on you.
Okay.
I said, for what? I'm doing nothing.
But also remember, she's not obviously in her right mind, so here she is slurring her words, obviously inebriated. I mean, not knowing the situation, I've worked at a gas station. I might have told somebody the same thing. Maybe not me because I've got a little bit more of a heart, but 99% of people would probably have told her the same thing, right? Because even in customer service jobs, your job is not necessarily to protect the public. You're just trying to do what's right for the store and, you know, not have vagrants around. And not that I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
At all. And so that scared me, you know, because I don't want to get in trouble for anything.
Right.
And then one lady, she said, look, if you want to stay in Missouri, go this way. And that's what I did.
There's another gas station up the road about 2 miles, so
Can you please take me there?
we can't get here. I don't have enough room.
And here he's giggling like, oh, we just can't give you a ride. I'm just so sorry. Unless I was taking you to jail, in which case I'm sure there'd be room.
Put all your stuff in my car.
She looks broken. She looks like a broken woman. How any human being could just be like, I don't care. Haha, can't do it. Haha, I don't have room. It makes me want to throttle this individual. Can I just tell you?
Please.
I don't have nowhere to put your stuff.
In the trunk?
I'm telling you, my car is full, so stay off the right line and keep walking, okay? You're welcome.
So that was the nearly 18-minute conversation that took place between
Amen. Right, J Sharp? I don't have room. Mother trucker, you fit 2-3 people in them cars sometimes. Like, I don't even want to hear it. And as somebody who's been in the back of a cop car, personally, there's tiny bit of room, and they do it intentionally to make you uncomfortable and to fit all their stupid equipment that they don't need that's in the front. Maybe Matt could chime in on this. How much of that could you have done without when you were on the beat? Can you tell me? Did you really need the computer? Could you have used a smartphone? Chime in a little bit. Did the front of the car need to be so big that the back had to be tiny? Honest question, because I've never been a cop, but I've been on the other side. But I'm telling you what, as somebody who's been in the back, you could have fit me, another person, and all her bags. Like, it's just bullshit.
Michelle Anders and deputies Cobb and Philpott. So if we skip to the last paragraph of the police report written by Deputy Cobb, it's completely defensive. Here's what it says. While speaking with Anders, I observed what looked like a bottle of alcohol sticking up from her purse. Anders was asked if she had been drinking, to which she stated no. She drank some the night before. It should be noted, Anders did not appear to be intoxicated or impaired and was not slurring her words, nor was she stumbling or anything of the sort. She seemed to be of sound mind. I'm pretty sure that this is what George Orwell would refer to as doublespeak. I mean, who are we going to believe, you or our lying eyes?
How many times have I said that? Exactly that.
I mean, we just saw this woman who claims to have a broken arm.
Exactly, right? Just wait. You think that's bad? It gets so much worse. This was just the beginning.
Literally slur her words. You saw a bottle of alcohol sticking out of her bag. You thought she was intoxicated. You pointed that out to her. We watched it on the video.
I don't even have a Google map.
I understand that as well.
He took my phone.
So where are you going to go?
That last gas station down there, they told me if I wanted to go back to Arkansas, go left. If I wanted straight to Missouri, go right. That's what I'm doing.
Where are you going? Is what I'm asking you.
I don't even have a clue.
Okay. How much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Oh, I saw the whiskey bottle sitting there.
No,
I'm asking you.
that was from last night.
She completely sounded inebriated, and yet to cover your own rear ends, you're putting all of these lies in this report that we can clearly see are lies. Additionally, I want to butt in here to say that Michelle's sister provided me with the full disciplinary complaint against the officers, and even the Missouri Department of Public Safety alleges in their complaint that Michelle Anders was visibly intoxicated. She also provided me with supplemental reports that they filled out. Basically, it appears like a cover-up after the fact, where they again reiterate this garbage that they had no reason, allegedly, to believe that
Michelle was asked if she'd been drinking alcohol. Michelle said she had drank some alcohol the night before. It should be noted, I did not smell any intoxicants coming from Michelle's person or breath, nor did I observe any signs of impairment, such as glassy, bloodshot eyes, slurring of speech, or any obvious signs of drug impairment. Right. Except not. It's bullshit.
was intoxicated. But what about the body cam that mentions suspicion that she was drinking? And what about that bottle itself that the officer mentions?
How much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Oh, I saw the whiskey bottle sitting there.
No,
I'm asking you.
that was from last night.
Where did she buy that? When did she buy that? How much of it was gone? Well, Michelle's sister actually was able to obtain the receipt for the bottle of vodka that she bought. And you know where she bought it? At that truck stop that she was just at several hours earlier. And here's the receipt that shows that she bought
Mr. T's. That's where they had mentioned, right?
that bottle of vodka approximately 3 hours earlier. So she had been drinking. It did not take an actual detective to find that out, to find proof of that. We still don't know how much of it she drank. Why?
No, not a detective, just somebody that gave a shit. And that's what's sad.
Why? Because this is crazy. When Michelle's personal effects were returned to the family, guess what was missing? The bottle. The investigation reports, guess what they...
Interesting. The cover-up begins. You thought I was playing when I said it gets worse.
Don't mention it all. The bottle. They don't mention how much of it was it empty? They don't mention how much of it was left. It appears they have completely engaged in a cover-up to make it look like Michelle was not intoxicated, when according to her sister, she was obviously intoxicated compared to how she usually acted, and compared to how anybody usually acts. Yeah. And get this, in a death investigation, usually you'd run a toxicity report, and you'd find out whether or not a victim was intoxicated. Obviously, that would be important. Guess what was not done? The body being quickly cremated in an animal veterinary crematorium before any toxicology could be done.
Did we hear that? Quickly, before any toxicology could be run. And the manner of death, as they'll discuss in a minute, it wouldn't even matter, because all you need is a blood or fluid sample to do something like a toxicology report, right? And you don't need much. But not only did they not do that, but then they quickly rushed her to an animal veterinary hospital and crematorium to have her cremated. What? Say what?
Which the family was promised would be done, but it was not done. A total cover-up, it appears, by this corrupt little county in Missouri. And the reason is because the last part of the report says this. After this, Anders was informed to stay on the right side of the fog line and out of the roadway. Anders was informed if she needed to rest or sit or lay in the grass or to stay on the right side of the fog line. Anders was informed approximately 2 miles east was a gas station to which she could probably stay and rest. Anders was informed if she continued on U.S. Highway 412, she would end up in Kennett. Anders thanked us for stopping to check on her, to which Deputy Philpott and I cleared the scene. What he neglects to mention is that maybe she thanked them, but that was right after she had finished begging them to drive her to that gas station. But you refused. She begged you for help, and you left this woman alone in the dark on the side of this busy highway. And this is kind of crazy. At the very bottom of the police report written by Deputy Cobb, there's a supplemental report. So after he finishes saying they told her to walk on down the road, now, same evening, supplemental report. The sheriff's office received a 911 call from a semi-truck driver who was traveling east on highway.
And here it goes. Now remember, his last words to her, stay off that white line because you're probably going to get ran over.
Before 12, near Mr. T's, the truck driver stated that he had just ran over someone with his truck. Deputy Philpott, Missouri State Highway Patrol, Medic 1, and I were dispatched to the scene. Deputy Philpott and I arrived on the scene first, to which we observed a white female whom we knew to be Michelle Anders, lying in the middle of the roadway. Anders was obviously deceased. As I mentioned, now the Missouri Department of Public Safety is looking to discipline both of these deputies. This is an excerpt of the complaint against them, and it says, by leaving an intoxicated and injured person on the side of a major thoroughfare at night and telling her to continue walking along the shoulder, Deputy Cobb created a substantial risk of death or bodily harm for Michelle Anders. This is the actual spot.
1250 US Highway 412. Speed limit is 60 miles an hour.
You see the chalk? You see the other chalk over here? Because we remember what hit her, right? So here's these chalk marks of where she was found, where all of her was found, in the middle of this road.
And she also has the internal dash cam from the semi-driver, which she believes shows that he was not paying attention. But now Deputy Philpott and Cobb have hired lawyers to fight the disciplinary proceedings, and
in the original video, this one that he's flashing back to, there's what aired on the news. It's a clip from his outward facing, like, regular dash cam, the semi-truck driver, and you can see the moment before the impact. She's literally sitting in the middle of the road. I don't know if he's gonna show it, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about it. Sitting in the middle of the road of oncoming traffic, not on the white line, not halfway into the road, in the middle of the lane, with her knees like folded up. She's holding her knees, just sitting there, making absolutely no move to go anywhere, just waiting for what happened.
they're pushing back, claiming they did nothing wrong here.
There are no domestic violence shelters in Dunklin County. There are no social workers. There's nowhere for him to have taken this lady. It's some extreme armchair quarterbacking that we're doing to these officers.
Armchair quarterbacking? Like Monday night quarterbacking? Like, are you effing kidding me? I feel like it doesn't take a genius to know they handled this really shitty. I feel like that should be common sense level stuff, right? Common sense level. Even their entire attitude, like, how can you have that type of attitude when you deal with the public? I get it. Cops, social workers, city employees, all of these people get jaded over time. I do understand that. There's a psychological toll it takes on you to deal with people that are trying to kill you, trying to kill each other, trying to do all this crazy shit all day, every day. I feel for them. I really do. However, if you've become jaded to the point where this is how you treat people who are broken individuals begging you for help, you need to just walk away. The pension you'll get in a few more years ain't worth it, because you're literally going to cost somebody their life, which they did in this case.
And it's wholly inappropriate. It's not fair to them. In the situation that they were in that night, what they did was a reasonable course of action.
And this attorney going straight to hell with them.
I think that it's abhorrent that the Department of Public Safety would even consider reprimanding him.
But clearly
I think it's abhorrent that you're defending such actions and calling it abhorrent that somebody wants a call for justice. What is wrong with this? Oh, this man should be disbarred.
There is law enforcement brass that disagree, including this expert that was hired as a consultant by the TV news.
At the very least, she was clearly intoxicated. You could tell that from the body camera footage. They should never have left her on the side of the road like that. Even if she refused an ambulance, that doesn't mean you don't call one anyway. You call an ambulance over, let them evaluate her, and if she is not able to look after herself, you could take her into protective custody if you have to, if she refuses to. That's done all the time. I think they made a conscious decision that they just didn't want to deal with it for whatever reason. I don't know the reason for that, but they left her roadside, and we see how that ended up, which is a tragic situation.
And here is the response to him from the deputy's lawyers.
They had absolutely no basis for protective custody, a 96-hour hold, or to arrest her for anything. So if they would have followed that expert's advice, they would have a civil lawsuit on their hands.
What do you think?
Oh, would that not have been so inconvenient, right? And would you not, as a city, rather have the civil litigation pending than somebody's dead with no L body on your hands? Like, I just don't understand. And that's not any kind of armchair quarterbacking. That's common sense, right? And there's no cause for this, no cause for that. BS. Anybody who's ever known anybody, or they themselves have been like 5150, that's a perfect example. That's when your family, the police, a psychologist, they call it different things different places. In Tennessee, it's a 5150. They decide you're a danger to yourself or others, and so they are therefore taking away all your rights and locking you up, whether it's in jail, like they say, protective custody, or it's in an institution, like the mental ward, right? They can do that at basically any time. It takes two people of power or authority in agreement, like a doctor or a police officer, for example, to do it, and that's it. It doesn't even have to be your family that calls. It doesn't have to be anybody that knows you. It can literally be a cop that pulls you over, right? I could argue that in court, and I'm no lawyer.
Agree with the lawyer? I mean, he does have a good point there, that police officers should respect the Fourth Amendment rights of people who are walking.
Also, though, if that's what he was so worried about, why did he badger her for her ID and her information so that he could run her? If her Fourth Amendment to be secure in her person and places and things and papers was what he was worried about, or the city was worried about, then he would not have badgered her to identify for, in his words, doing nothing wrong. I mean, he could have, at the very least, taken her in for public intoxication. That's police academy day one, right?
Down the side of the road, how many videos have we looked at where cops have unnecessarily harassed people just trying to walk down the side of the road? In fact, they made a movie about it with Sylvester Stallone. But this isn't a video about cops harassing somebody. Cops can also do wrong. They can also commit misconduct when they fail to act when they should. As far as the law goes, Missouri is in the 8th Circuit, and the case law pretty much says that if police officers have probable cause to believe that some vulnerable person might walk into danger, then they have this affirmative duty to act to protect that person, especially if they're in their custody, which may or may not have been the case here. Her ID was demanded. Arguably, she was subjected to an investigatory detention. At least under one way of looking at it, she was released to the side of the road. Now, the officers would say that she was never in their custody. They were just checking on her. They did not have probable cause to arrest her or to take her into any sort of protective custody. Now, I would disagree with that. They arrived there for a reason, because there was this woman in a dangerous situation. Dangerous to motorists, dangerous to herself, obviously. What they found was somebody who was possibly suffering from mental issues, who claimed to be basically seriously injured. She said she had a broken arm, who appeared to be inebriated, who had a bottle of liquor with them, who was slurring her words, who appeared to be a victim of violence, who was claiming to be a victim of domestic violence, who was pleading for their help. And she didn't ask for much. She just asked to be driven 2 miles down the road to a gas station. And
that's a ride that would have taken between 2 and 5 minutes. That's it. 2 and 5 minutes of their lives, of their night. And we could have avoided all of this.
Private conversation, they acknowledged that they had a choice to drive her or to not drive her. And their choice was to not drive her. That's not really asking for a whole lot. That's where the lawyers' arguments are a red herring. They did not have to have probable cause to agree to drive this woman to a gas station. At the very least, they could have done that. That's what she was asking for. That wouldn't have violated her rights in any way. That would not have exposed them to a lawsuit. That would just be basic human decency, basic kindness. And that is what was missing here. These cops were spitting all over the place, basically acting like complete assholes.
Amen.
They literally had one job, and they failed. But let me know what you think in a comment. Do you agree with the lawyer for the
No, the lawyer is also an asshole. I can't. This entire case, I've talked about it, and I feel like I could never make it as succinct as this lawyer does. There's a reason he's a big YouTuber. He's amazing. By the way, go check him out if you don't know who he is. But every single time, like I said, every single time I see this video, it raises my blood pressure. I get angry, I get upset, I feel sorry for her family, all over again. I cannot imagine if this was, my friend or my family member, my mother, my sister, who was treated this way. Okay, go find it, baby. I cannot for a moment. No, it's not for you. Go on. I cannot imagine the way it would make me feel. I would forever hate police. Like, this is exactly the type of thing that makes people believe that all cops are bad. This is why. These bad apples that are allowed to continue to serve, quote unquote, work for their city, these bad apples that the other bad apples don't call out, where their attorneys or their city protects them when they are wrong, they are why there's such a huge divide between the police and the public today. If other officers cross that thin blue line a little more often to call each other out and hold each other accountable, and if the cities they worked for and the lawyers who represented them let their ass hang out to dry every once in a while when they were wrong, mind you, when they were wrong, maybe we could have more faith in the systems that are supposed to be there to protect us, right? Maybe we could. And it makes me so sad because I don't like to see that. The police are supposed to be here to protect and serve. It's 911 you call when you need help, when you're hurt, when you're in danger, and I know I personally would rather handle it myself at this point. The only time I'm going to be calling 911 when it comes to my family safety is when I've handled the problem and I need a cleanup crew. That's how simple it is at this point. I don't trust them. As somebody who's been in the system, as somebody who's done time and seen how they treat people, absolutely not. I don't have no need or want for you. You can't help me. I'm more afraid of you than somebody who might be breaking into my house or trying to harm me on the street. Absolutely not. I'm a lot more scared of you because you have a whole gang behind you that'll protect you, that'll magically disappear evidence and stand up for you and engage in cover-ups. And you think Missouri's bad? You should see Blount County, Tennessee. Okay, there's a reason ain't not a whole lot of auditors that come in places like this. Like, absolutely not. We've had the same sheriff for 40 years, something crazy. It's insanity to me. The corruption runs so deep. And it's not one city or one county or one state. It is the police state that we are that we are living in. And the fact that people are just not standing up against it that are in it. That's the problem. It's rotting from within. It's like a cancer. All these bad apples are a cancer to policing, to protecting our public. I would really love to be able to raise children who look up to the police instead of beginning to teach them their rights at 3 and 4 so that 12 or 20 they don't get violated. I mean, that's really sad. Nobody ever is upset to see firemen, right? That's what people always say, and it's the truth. Nobody ever cusses out firemen, and that's the truth. They're heroes, right? Why are cops viewed differently? It's not because the firemen are doing messed up stuff, right? I mean, let's just take a look around. How do we fix this? Well, you have to expose these things when they happen. I feel like we have to stay on top of our congressmen and women and people who we elect. I think we need to make sure people like our sheriffs, our city leaders, our mayors do turn over. There should be a term limit or at least a process to impeach and replace people. There should not be a sheriff for 30 or 40 years anywhere, period. That's not enough turnover. It's not enough new ideas. It's not enough fresh eyes on these cases when they do happen. And this is nothing. I talked about Teresa. Oh, her last name escapes me right this second. But there's a lady named Teresa in Knoxville. It was actually somewhat on the news, like national news for like a day, and then it just kind of disappeared. The Knox County Police showed up. She had gone to UT Hospital in Knoxville. It was 20 minutes away from me. She'd showed up there, and they took her blood pressure some like simple vitals, said, "You're fine, you need to leave." She was in a wheelchair, she could not even walk. And these cops, maybe I'll react. Oh no, I did. I already reacted to this. I'm just kidding. Look at one of my past lives. I did react to it. I almost forgot. And these cops treated her so poorly. I mean, so poorly. They were dragging her out of the wheelchair and throwing her in the car. This cop that ended up transporting her stopped on his way to taking her to jail to literally make a traffic stop. While he was stopped and she was in his car on the side of the road, she died, literally. All because she was sick as hell and they did not believe her. Like, what is happening in this world? It just makes me crazy. It just drives me crazy. So I'm doing my little part by, bringing more attention to these things. I can't do much. I'm just one person, but I tell you what I will do. Come Monday or Tuesday, I already have an entire page of notes with these officers' names. The Dunklin County, Missouri Police Department is where this happened at. I have their phone number, their fax number, their non-emergency dispatch number, and their city attorney's number. And I've been saying I'm going to call and ask some questions. And every time I see this, it reignites my rage. So probably I'll do that on Monday or Tuesday if Mama comes to grab babies and I have some time, because I know they'll never let me do something like that. But and ask the questions. Oh, and by the way, when it comes to Teresa, the 6 or 7 cops that were involved from Knox County, of course, no disciplinary action ever happened, right? 2 of them have been promoted and some more stuff. So it's absolute insanity to me. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. Is it not crazy? Well, and you guys spending time with me is so appreciated. I try really hard. I'm one of those, I do have black colored glasses, one could say, on when it comes to the police. I am a little bit biased, a lot biased. I can't pretend that I'm not. But there are times when I'll watch a video and of these First Amendment auditors or other people that are just messing with police for no reason. And I'm like, okay, that guy was an asshole. Or, oh yeah, that guy had it coming. I can definitely call the public on their shit when it's them that's the problem. But also the thing is, we don't have an expectation to hold a certain standard, right? Whereas with the police, they're supposed to be held to a higher standard. It's literally part of the whole thing of being a police officer is you're supposed to protect and serve and be better than any Tom, Dick, or Harry on the street, right? Because you're supposed to add to your community and uplift it and not destroy it from within. And I just see too many police officers who either actively participate in some fuckery like this or keep their mouth shut about it when it happens. And in my opinion, those people are just as guilty, right? I think it might have been Martin Luther King. Somebody wise once said, the hottest fires in hell are reserved for those who remain neutral in a time of moral crisis. I can't remember who said it. I want to say it might have been him, somebody a long time ago. And exactly that. When you see a problem and you don't do something about it, you might as well have done that wrong yourself, right? It's just, to me anyway, maybe that seems a bit dramatic to others, but that's the way I see it. The definition of integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Well, why don't more of these cops do the right thing? These are supposed to be people that we trust. And then you got people like this city attorney who is coming in literally all over the news, not only trying to defend them. Every client deserves a rigorous defense. I understand that. But for you to say all this vicious shit about this victim, which no matter what happened in her past, even though she has a clean criminal record, etc., whatever might have happened, even leading up to this night, taking only this night into account, she was the victim of police misconduct and, at the very least, negligent homicide, in my personal opinion. Because all they would have had to do was give her a ride. She wasn't even asking for 3 hots and a cot or to go to the hospital. She turned down an ambulance. All she wanted you to do was give her a 2 to 5 minute ride to the gas station. That's it. And you couldn't do that. And now she's dead. So whose fault is that? That's how I feel anyway. Yeah, professional conduct. And it's where's that at, And I think that's one of the things I'm I think I'm going to start reacting to some of these First Amendment audits and stuff, because my opinion is Some of them are assholes. There's a lot of them out there who just try and provoke police to get content and clicks, because there are a lot of people that hate police out there. Those like ACAB, A-holes, as I call them, right? Who it's, oh, bootlegger this and bootlegger that and fuck the pigs and blah, blah, blah. Like, in my opinion, that they get way too far. Like, I get how somebody could get there, but you're just doing too much right now. And you're not being part of the solution, you're becoming part of the problem, right? There are, however, some that I believe are making huge change. Long Island Audit, Lackluster, those are two that come to mind. These people are creating apps to help uphold citizens' rights with like a 2-second attorney phone call. Their app that they made together, Attorney Shield, I think it's called. You can call and like get an attorney, and then it starts to record what's happening, and it won't stop recording until your phone either dies or you enter a code. So the cops can't just shut your camera off. Like, these are people who are contributing things to their community, right? And trying to make things better. Long Island Audit has helped get like 3 laws passed in Long Island and New York to help us, move forward our constitutional rights, protect them. Some of them are a-holes. Some of them are doing big things, in my opinion. And it takes people like that who aren't afraid to stand up to injustices. And unfortunately, that makes you a target. Unfortunately, that makes you somebody that's going to get targeted, that's going to get pulled over, that's going to get bogus charges, that's going to get taken to jail. It's not a life of luxury when you decide to be some kind of advocate. But we need people like that to be able to fight against these things, in my own personal opinion. But, yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on that, now that I've rambled for a few minutes. That's pretty much the end of the video. He says a couple more things, but that's pretty much all. And yeah, maybe I'll re-react to the Teresa one. That one, it makes my blood boil. It makes me sick to my stomach how they treated her. Like, this woman was obviously so unwell. She could not breathe. She could not walk. And they were literally just like, oh, stop pretending. Literally. Oh, I can't. My blood pressure is so high right now. So I'm going to take a breath. Right, Jay, is exactly it. Like, I definitely have not gone as far as to make myself a target, like, I have kids, I have, it's rough out here in these streets. But if the opportunity were to present itself, I would not care to be that guy if I had to be, you know what I mean? Like, anytime, the few times I've been pulled over, I record police, I let them know without being an asshole about it. And it has always helped me. I've never been ticketed if I've been recording. I'm always spoken to, respectfully, etc. So I'm not one of those people that's going to have a lawsuit because they treat me like shit. And that's good. That's how you want it to go. You want to be able to take out your phone and record. You want a cop, really, whether you're recording or not, but maybe because you're recording, to have that extra oomph to be better and to be nicer. And really, I just really wish they would do that, period, all the time, like 24/7. Everybody has a bad day, but something like this is so much further than a bad day. I mean, even on my worst day, I could not have treated somebody like that. So, and I'm no angel. I'm not some perfect saintly person either. I just care about people. It's really it. That's really it. So, I think that's what astounds me the most, is like, I'm no Mother Teresa, and even I could not stand to just leave somebody on the side of the road like that. Now, I'm not saying I would let her in my car with my kids if it was like me. Of course, this is a different situation, but I'd find a way to help. And I'm not even a cop, so, that's where I'm at. But I still hope that you enjoyed this. I got a lot of fights over these. Yep, same. Ooh, interesting. Ooh. That's very interesting, J-Strap. Maybe we'll have to talk about that at some point. I know a few people who also have dealt with leaving the Mormon church and the cacophony that followed them when they did that. I don't know if that's like a normal thing, like it's Scientology levels of smear campaigns on a normal basis, but I do know several people who had a lot of trouble just because they walked away from the Mormon church, which is crazy. Sounds kind of culty when you think about it, But, yeah, definitely we should talk about that more one day. Maybe I'll have you on for an interview or something. I so appreciate everybody that has joined us today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll take a deep cleansing breath. Expel that negative energy, kind of lower our blood pressure. Something I am excited about, my Swan City Ceramics package is coming today, so I'm really stoked about that. My tiny jars, really excited. So I'm definitely going to do a little unboxing of that later, something to look forward to, and I have a video planned for some point. It will probably be a live that turns into a VOD of knitting a hat start to finish. People have really liked that idea that I brought up, so I think probably I'll do that soon. I have a bunch of, well, not a bunch, like 3 or 4 things set aside material-wise, yarn, needles, etc. Everything you would need, like spending $10 or less. Maybe that's what it'll be, like spend $10 or less and make a hat, Sounds interesting enough. So that's coming down the pipeline at some point soon as well. And we're going to be getting back to Bible studies as well. It's just been kind of a crazy week. So yeah, I've been kind of all over the place. But we're getting back to that soon as well. I already have notes for the next 2 Bible studies. So we may get back into that tomorrow. If not by tomorrow, then Monday. So I know a lot of you actually really enjoy that. So I'm sorry I've kind of, gotten behind on that. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise, Jay, that is insanity. Yeah, we gotta talk sometime. Maybe we'll do a little interview or something. That's another thing I'd really like to do, is have like interview style, whether it's like a double live, a phone conversation, I don't know how it would go, or a video call or whatever. Some interviews with people about just stuff like that, like their life experiences, just normal everyday people like us. I think that would be really interesting. I always enjoy hearing other people's stories. And I also have an idea, I was mentioning it in Matt's live the other day. It's kind of like expanding on the idea of like each one teach one. And I would love to have like build a community where we all, like trade skills. Like, I can knit, and I know other people can do all sorts of things. Some people can hunt, some people are great at tying knots or fishing or etc., video editing, all sorts of stuff. And maybe doing like a little video series of some things we teach each other. I think that would be really interesting. So I know that's right, it really does. Rising tides lift all ships, right? And what's done in the dark will come to light. They say sunshine is the best disinfectant, so there's also that. So I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go get a late breakfast, more almost brunch for us from the Hardys, I do believe, and grab a couple things from the store, come home, spend some time with the babies. So, but I'll be back on later to do my little unboxing at some point. And thank you guys that have joined. Thank you everybody in the chat who has also given their opinions and their takes. I do so appreciate you. I hope the rest of you have a wonderful day if I don't see you later. And if I do, I will see you then. You as well, Justin. We'll see you again soon, dear.